There are some dangerous and scary creatures in the world, but not all of those that seem dangerous are, in fact, harmful. Many of them are completely harmless. We have just decided to step up and have a look to see which scary ones are actually just lovely, cuddly creatures. These are scary-looking animals that are actually harmless. Eels. Eels may look scary and some have quite an electric shock to them, but in actual fact, they are actually very social animals. Still, many people are terrified of these creatures. There are plenty of videos showing exactly how friendly eels are. In these videos, we can see eels curling up with scuba divers. Some are even moray eels, who have a reputation for being a bit grumpy, and they look very dangerous to boot. There are a couple of aggressive eels out there, so we don't suggest going for any eel you see, but if you allow an eel to swim up to you, you may just be surprised at the interaction you may have. Pythons. Pythons have a bad reputation thanks to scary movies and stories, but in reality, they make good pets and even enjoy being touched and handled by humans. They remain carnivorous, but so are dogs and we keep them as pets. The 10 python species in the world are generally quite large. When introduced into the wild, they can take over quickly. This tends to happen when people cannot meet the feeding needs of their animals and set them free into a new habitat. Pythons are actually quite fond of people. Attacks on humans do occur, but these are minimal. Vampire bats. Vampire bats look hellishly scary, and many people are deeply terrified of these creatures. In reality, they are quite social animals, and tend not to drink the blood of humans. When they do drink the blood of an animal, they cause these animals no harm. They seem to be more of a nuisance than a danger. Vampire bats even allow others to feed on them if they are hungry, and female vampire bats look after the babies of other females. Their bad raps come from horror movies, and the fact that they look so scary. Rats. Rats are some of the most misunderstood animals out there. We're not talking about rats in the wild. Even in the wild, they are very social and intelligent and clean up after people. Many people in the world have brown rats as pets, but some people even have black rats. They are loving, adorable, and highly intelligent when raised in captivity. Rats pose no more of a health risk than any other pet, despite the stories about them being disease carriers. The large cane rat is even used like a sniffer dog to search for buried landmines, which is such a problem in some countries around the world. Vultures. Vultures look pretty darn ugly, especially when they are covered in blood when feeding on a carcass. Vultures form close bonds with one another, and they do the same with people who happen to raise them. Mating pairs stay together all their lives, and their young stay with them for extended periods of time. Remember that vultures are scavengers, so they are not aggressive by nature. They basically clean up where other carnivores have left a mess. We are not saying you should get a vulture as a pet, but rather that you give them a chance. African millipede. I know what you're thinking. How can a millipede be a pet? Well, thousands of people around the world have giant African millipedes as pets. These animals grow to be around 30 centimeters in length. You may be used to throwing garden variety millipedes out of your home, so the concept of a giant one may not sound too exciting, but they are docile and generally friendly. As exotic pets, they have special care instructions though. When threatened, they secrete an irritating liquid that causes skin irritation. But why would you want to surprise and irritate a pet? Tarantula. Tarantulas look scary and are a nightmare to arachnophobes. But when confronted, they will scurry off and hide. The worst that can happen is they cover you in hairs, which itch. They can look aggressive, and because they are large, they look scarier. If they bite, they leave their victim feeling agitated. Tarantulas are very friendly with their owners. If you do not startle your tarantula, it will simply walk over you exploring. Even in the wild, tarantulas will not easily attack. If you don't bother them, they won't bother you. Blue-tongued skink. The blue-tongued skink is a type of lizard with a remarkable blue tongue. It is very friendly despite the way it looks. These animals do not like being around other people, but form close bonds with their owners. They enjoy lazying around and playing with them. These reptiles pose no threat to humans and do not grow to be very large, which makes them great pets. As an added bonus, because they only eat insects, you will not have insects in your home. They grow to be around 45 centimeters in length. Next time you consider a reptile for a pet, we can easily recommend these animals. Hissing cockroach. Hissing cockroaches are bigger than normal ugly cockroaches. These animals only hiss when threatened or frightened. They can grow up to lengths of 5 to 7 centimeters. They feed on plant materials, and even though they look creepy, they make for exceedingly popular pets. They are considered exotic pets and live up to 5 years. They require a small space with little light. Their owners claim that these cockroaches enjoy spending time with them and are exceptionally social creatures. People may give you a funny look on that one, but that does not mean it's not true. Naked mole rat. The naked mole rat looks quite ugly to say the least. They only have a few hairs over their naked bodies and have 2 large front teeth that make them look like little aliens. These animals, though, are rather sociable creatures. They live in colonies of 20 to 300 individuals. They get cold easily, so they use each other's body heat to stay warm. These creatures are one of the only 2 mammal species known to be eusocial, or able to exist in a complex multi-generational group. Only a few individuals in the naked mole rat colony produce offspring. The rest are soldiers or workers who search for food, maintain the tunnels, and help care for the queen mole rat's young. The eye is a type of lemur that looks like it fell from the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. It may look scary, but it's actually harmless to humans. This animal's diet consists mainly of grubs pulled from small holes in trees created by the animal's slanting incisors. In certain parts of the world, eyes are considered to be bad omens. They are killed on sight and hung upside down to release the evil spirit. Because of practices like these, their numbers dwindled rapidly, and the eye was believed to be extinct from 1933 until 1957, when a group of them was rediscovered. Basking sharks. Because of its massive size and threatening sounding name, the basking shark is considered scary. It is the second largest living fish on the planet. Growing to be 6 to 8 meters in length, the basking shark's diet consists solely of zooplankton and phytoplankton. Because of its filter method of eating, it is not interested in eating any of us. Due to its habit of feeding close to the surface, it always looks like it is basking in the sun, and that is where its name comes from. Goliath bird eater. If you are arachnophobic, look away now. The Goliath bird eater, which is a type of tarantula, is considered scary due to its large size and mass. They are native to the rainforests of South America, such as the countries like French Guiana and northern Brazil. This huge spider makes its home in swampy marshes. The Goliath bird eater's colors range from dark to light brown, with markings on its legs. The strength of venom excreted by the fangs of these gargantuan spiders has been compared to that of a wasp sting. Despite its name, the bird eater mainly eats worms and amphibians due to the difficulty it would encounter if it actually tried to catch a bird. Camel spider. Due to their large size of 15 centimeters on average, the camel spider can be an extremely scary sight for any normal person. They are, however, entirely non-threatening to humans. The camel spider is not poisonous and is not actually a spider anyway. They are still members of the arachnid family. Camel spiders have 8 legs and 2 extra appendages called pedipalps, which are sensory organs. These animals are usually found in Middle Eastern deserts, but have also been seen in the southwest United States and Mexico. Gharial. This strange-looking animal resembles a crocodile because of its long, skinny snout. The gharial's narrow snout reduces its resistance to water when swimming. It is therefore able to easily chase and capture its prey because the narrow snout allows it to quickly whip its head around while chasing prey. This funny-looking creature is native to the subcontinent of India and has a population of lower than 230. Over the past 70 years, the gharial has steadily inched its way toward the red list of critically endangered species. We hope they make a comeback. Creatures as interesting as these need to be safeguarded for future generations. Milk snakes. The milk snake is considered dangerous because it looks like a coral snake, which is one of the most poisonous snakes on Earth. These 2 types of snakes are completely different in every way except for their physical appearance. Both animals are made up of a red, yellow, and black striped pattern, yet only one is actually dangerous. The secret in telling them apart is in their color arrangement. If the red band is touching black, it means that you are looking at a milk snake. But if red touches yellow, you better get out of there, because it is a coral snake. Of course, I, for one, will not stay to check. There you have it then, the world's scariest creatures which you do not have to fear at all. Remember though, that sometimes scary does mean dangerous, so be careful out there. I'm sure you liked this video, and I hope to see you again soon.